I'm like,
Yes.
this is, okay, got that? All
Look at
right.
your hair is so long.
Yeah, it's called quarantine hair. Can we like
I know.
hashtag that?
I
No.
know, I know. Well, but you're pregnant too, so you've got
Yeah.
this like glow thing
Yeah.
happening right
Oh,
now.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a combination of pregnancy hair and quarantine, not clearly getting a haircut, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all good, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you. Is this your second?
Yeah, number two.
Yeah. Well, so I was just starting to preface that you have, number one, been dancing and fitness and all of that combined for a long time.
Yeah.
But how I met you was taking your class when
Yeah,
I
no, it
had
was so fun.
my first daughter. Exactly. And then randomly joining you for a fitness workout with baby, which I am just like, how you even created that or wanted to create that while you were, nursing and doing all that. So let me back up and you just tell me what you've been doing in the meantime, because you have Dancinerate. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Dancinerate.
And how can people find you online?
So online, I mean, you can go to ilysebaker.com, my website. But right now, with the fact that we are all in this new norm and way of living, when the pandemic hit, I quickly, when the studios all closed and the gyms all closed, I quickly thought, well, how am I going to still reach all my following and even reach people but beyond that? Because I just felt like this was something that none of us, I think, ever anticipated or expected we would be going through.
Right.
So I quickly just went onto Facebook and to Instagram and just started doing classes, really out of the goodness of my heart. Like I just wanted to give back and just say, I know that we don't know where this is going to go and what's going to happen, but we still need to move. Yeah, no, we still don't, but we still need to move our bodies, and feel good about ourselves. So you can find me on Instagram at Ilyse Baker is my handle. Facebook as well. It's Ilyse Baker Dancinerate. And then what happened after that is basically like the classes became really popular and people started to message me and say, this is something that like we are going to just get used to doing. Like, can we Venmo you? Because I think people just realize like this is your career, this is your job. We want to show our appreciation to you, which I thought was very nice, but that wasn't really the reason why I was going into it. And then my husband and I had a conversation. He's like, I'm just going to let you know this is not going to get any better anytime soon. And I was very like optimistic. I'm like, no, we're going to be dancing in person and getting fit in person soon, blah, blah, blah. So make a long story short, I did some research and I found a platform called Gym Go. And it basically allowed me to create my own account and basically film my own classes live. And my following can come on, or anyone can come on and pay that whatever I was charging that day for that class. And then what's nice is that if you couldn't make it live, the classes afterward go on demand. And so I'm able to rent them for, I basically gave people a week to rent them because I always wanted people to have new content. And it's really been incredible because not only is my following doing it, which I'm super proud of them to do because they prefer in person, obviously.
Right, exactly.
But they've made that shift, but it's also...
I just want to interrupt you. You have a ruckus following, like in class, like people are in it.
They're in it to win it. I know. I love it. I feel very blessed with the community that I've created. It's just everybody wants to get there and have fun and be fit and dance, and we're all good friends, and it's a happy place. But what I was going to say is that it's given me the opportunity to reach beyond that. So I have people like dancing with me in Canada right now, and in Idaho and Germany, and I just feel like I already felt like with what I'm doing, I obviously give back and I make a difference in people's lives, but I feel like I'm doing even more now just because of the struggle that we're all in.
Right, because we are definitely all in it together. So what is the gym, you said Gym Co? Is that
Gym Go. So it's
Gymgo.
Gymgo.
And do people go to your website to then go to that site, or do you?
So
how do people
good question.
Find that?
I posted on social media. To be honest, my website really needs to be updated. Let's just put it out there.
We all are in that same boat.
Right? But I usually just post it on my Facebook page, my Instagram page. Yeah. So that's how you can find it. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, so I just know that, I mean, you're a dancer, but you also incorporate the fitness aspect of it. And I know that there's fitness dance, and then there's like, hey, I'm going to just be like a gym rat, right? And so I feel like you do a good balance of the two where you're not like at least the class that I took, it's kind of, you know, where you feel like you're not always just working that one arm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you get your full body going. And so what do you feel like is the struggle for some who are maybe, you know, they just didn't want to get on this internet bandwagon, or, you know, maybe they're waiting just to go back in the studio, you know? So how do you feel like you entice those people to come to your class?
You know, I think listen, everybody has to do what works for them. So, you know, I actually have students that say to me all the time, I have no room in my house to do this. I have kids everywhere. Like, I just doesn't feel right in the comfort of my own home. And so my advice would be like, take a walk, you know, or get on a bike. Like, obviously keep yourself moving, because I think it is important to stay active and to stay fit as much as we can during this time. But the people that I think that are trying to get, you know, over that curve of, okay, I don't have you at least in person, but now I have you in the comfort of my own home. I literally just encourage people that, you know what, you sometimes in class you get nervous that people are watching you or you make a mistake, but no one's watching you now. Like the way and especially the way I have it on the platform, I can't see anyone because I don't want, like, I know with Zoom you can see people while you're dancing, and I just felt like I could have said it that way, but I just felt like I really want people to feel like they're dancing and no one's watching. You know what I mean? Like that phrase we all know. So that's my first thing I tell people is like, just get out of your head. Like, you could be dancing in your pajamas if you want, which is not what I would recommend, because I still feel like you need to dress the part when you're taking a dance class or a fitness class, because if you're feeling good about yourself and you're wearing something good about yourself, you're going to achieve that class, that workout even better. So yeah, I just tell people, like, try it. It's something new. It's definitely different. It's a curve that, you know, you have to kind of get over, but it's just like when you learned how to ride a bike. You got on a bike, you fell a couple times. Then the next time you did it again and it got better. And then the next time it got better. So, you know, and I think people have really just realized that, like, okay, if I want to dance, this is my opportunity and I just have to roll with it. Because, you know, the internet too, like, there's been struggles, whether it's something freezes or the music rights, you know, you have to, those are curves too that I have gotten over and things like that. But I think that would be my advice.
And how, I mean, for maybe someone who wants to do their own classes and, like, not even taking it, but let's say an instructor who's looking to you to say, okay, well, here's my solution. So what is your solution for, you know, licensing or getting around that, as far as being able to have permission to use music that's not yours? You know what I mean? Like,
Great question.
How do you do that?
My advice there would be, first you have to figure out what platform you're going to use and do that research. I mean, I know with Instagram and Facebook, it gets kind of tricky. I know I dealt with some issues where you get the email saying it's muted or you don't own the rights and things like that. I think Zoom is a little bit picky too, but I would just say sit down on the computer and do as much research as you can. That's what I did. Worst case, there are websites that offer free music that are licensed music that you can do, or there's also companies out there that you could purchase music. I would say for us as dancers or fitness people, that is probably the biggest challenge, because we want good music. You know, music drives our movement. So yeah, I just say, like, first you have to do the research and figure out which platform you're using and then go from there.
Yeah. Well, so when you're thinking about the next thing, you know, for yourself, you know, obviously,
always, right?
I know. The one thing I noticed about you is on Instagram, a lot of people don't realize that when they use their camera front facing, that the letters do not display properly. But you must flip it in order to have your logo be readable. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop this light down a little bit. It took me a second. Even when I did my Instagram live workouts, I had the phone facing me, like selfie view, and I'm like, why are people emailing me saying me that I'm not mirror imaging when I'm mirror imaging? Like, I'm like, what is going on? And for, like, I don't know, it took me weeks to figure it out, and I'm like, okay, duh, I have to flip the camera.
But that's something that you wouldn't, like, you're wanting to look at the comments, right? So
of
you
course,
obviously,
and make sure people can, I'm in frame and all that kind of stuff. So it's funny, because when I was doing it on Instagram and Facebook, you should have seen the setup here. We had this long hallway in my house, so that's where my dance studio is, basically. So I have, like, my child's little chairs on top of our table, like, propping my computer up, and then I have my phone in my ring light. It just was a whole production here. And in the beginning, my husband helped me, and he would, when I figured out I had to flip it, he would kind of just look at the phone just to make sure Instagram was okay, because I could see Facebook, and then once I knew I was like on a path there, you know, I just got past of me having or wanting to look at the comments, you know.
Right.
It's fun to go after the fact. It's fun to go through and be like, oh, this person popped on. And,
Yeah.
but if they're moving with me, they shouldn't be typing too.
They
so.
shouldn't be typing.
That's true. But yeah.
Well, so as far as the next for you, are you going to stay with this platform? Are you researching other platforms? Are you going to add your on-demand onto your revamped website? Like, what do you see for?
Yeah,
for
it's so funny because since I've started this, I've had many companies reach out to me to say they pretty much can offer what I'm doing on JimGo. You know, I honestly, what am I? 36 weeks pregnant right now. So I'm about to give birth to baby 2 very soon. So with JimGo, I'm actually going to put my account on hold for a little bit. Like people can still use my account for the rest of the week to rent things and things like that. But what's nice is on IlyseBaker.com, I do have digital downloads. Like I have an ample amount of workouts that I feel like will get people through, you know, my maternity leave. So yeah, I'll probably take a break for a bit and enjoy mommy life and, you know, and bond with my new baby coming and my 3-year-old. And then once, you know, I'm cleared, God willing, we'll be back in person. But I will say this has opened my eyes to something new. And I've gotten a lot of feedback that people are like, please come back on JimGo or put it on your website. Or so I kind of want to use this time to explore the other companies that have reached out to see financially if it makes sense to just put it and host it on IlyseBaker.com or if I should continue at JimGo. But I'm really open to doing some kind of online live thing, continuing even if like I'm cleared and gyms are open. I mean, I know gyms are open now, but like if I feel comfortable enough to go. So
right,
yeah,
exactly.
Probably try to do both. Yeah.
Well, I just think there's so much to be learned from both sides of the coin. You know, the online learning aspect and then the online instruction aspect. You know, there's so many people who are, you know, just throwing it out there. I'm just going to teach. And it's kind of like, no. The person on the other end needs to be able to learn in a specific format. And it's just such a learning curve just to try to figure out like your ring light, like you were talking about, like I have mine right here, you know what I mean? Like, trying to figure out the lighting, the production and all of that to make it be, I mean, you're putting on a show, you know, because I feel like you almost have to be a little bit more prepared online when you're teaching than you would have to be in class, because you might see something in class by, you know, a student might do some freestyle and let's add that in, you know, but in an online setting, it's kind of like, you know,
you don't have that opportunity. I know, like my students always inspire me, and like sometimes I'll prepare a routine and it will completely change in class just because of the way someone to my right is moving their body. You know, but yeah, I think people don't realize whether it's the consumer tuning in with you or it's someone that's trying to get up there, another instructor to do their own thing. But this is like a whole production and takes time to set up and do. I mean, I guess you're not getting in your car driving to the studio location. So this is your drive time. You can look at it like that. I don't know.
Right.
But no, you really do need to know your way of like setting things up and the ins and outs of it for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you have anything else that you want to tell people where to go, you know, this is I want to leave the floor open for you.
Thank you.
Like Dancenery, is that a program or is it just the class name?
It's a program. Yeah, it's my class name and program. Everything's under Ilyse Baker. So if you just follow me on Instagram, you'll find me. And like I said, on Facebook, it's Ilyse Baker Dancenery. So it's Facebook/Ilyse Baker Dancenery. Awesome. Yeah, but I would like anybody that wants to reach out. I'd love to welcome you to the Dancenery community, and so super passionate, so fun. And how old are your kids now, by the way? 3 and
almost 3 in August and 7 months.
Crazy. Yeah, that's awesome.
You're gonna be me soon.
I know. So any tips and advice, I'm gonna be like calling you.
Well, I'm doing potty training. And then
we just finished potty training.
Teething. This is at the same time.
It's a tough time. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Exactly. Well, have a good one, and thank you so much. I will send you the link, and I will post everywhere. Awesome. So, all right.
Okay, thank you for having me. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.